Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast. This is episode number 787, and we are reporting straight from Tenerife, and specifically, although not visible, but behind these apartments, there are high cliffs called Los Gigantes. I'll probably add some picture or maybe video later on, as we will be reporting on first day of Tenerife, but technically I am reporting on the day back, which was yesterday, and it was a terrible day in terms of exhaustion, tiredness, effort, long drives and flights. So thank you.
No problem.
Apologies for that. Let me give you a quick run through of our journey, which was, as I said, quite exhausting. So we woke up pretty early, probably about 6 or 7. Some of us got up earlier, some later. Elizabeth was first, I think, and I was probably second. Julian probably was dragging for a bit longer. But we started working on the last packing efforts before departure from Donegal. Maybe I'll be able to. Not sure if it will be visible, but if you look close enough, maybe. No, it's not visible on camera because we can see the shadow or silhouette of Los Gigantes, but it's not visible in that camera. So we packed things and got ready for everything, and departed Donegal around 9 a.m, a bit after 9. Yeah, and that gave us an easy 3 hours plus 1 hour of buffer time to do stuff along the way. So we wanted to make sure that, not like the last time for Gran Canaria, will be last minute for a plane, but we left with plenty of time, and that turned out to be a mistake, because our flight was the only flight that got delayed by an hour. So when we arrived,
4 hours of spare time.
Yeah. So we got to Dublin not only earlier, careful, but also we got more time because of that delay.
Yeah, and you're not gonna see my dad for a bit here because it's gonna get dark.
Oh yeah, so let me just finish quickly the update before we get to that darkness there, because the camera won't see me well. So yeah, so that was a pretty fast drive, even though we were not rushing it. It was eventless. We only stopped in Enniskillen and got some coffee and snacks. So we got to Dublin airport fairly quickly. We booked a red car park, so it was pretty much opposite to the airport, so much closer than usual when we booked the blue car park, long-term car park. So it was all good as well, no issues, which was grand. And we got to the airport, we got to security. Security was pretty empty, but the problem was that we took a drone. And a lot of chargers, cables, and that looked on the screen like we were probably taking a bomb. So it was a longer security pass through. They needed to check everything, make sure that we don't have any illegal stuff.
Like bombs?
Yeah. So everything went fine, but I think Elizabeth or Julian forgot to take off scissors from the bag. Yeah. So they obviously had to take those scissors and throw them away. So that was the only loss, I would say, on the security side. And we passed through with flying colors. We ate a couple of things there because we had plenty of time. As I said, we checked the flights and it turned out just then that we have 1 hour delay. So instead of 3:40, we had to fly 4:40 or 4:45 even, because they added 5 minutes later on. So we were bored at the airport, and then yeah. And afterwards, after some coffees, croissants, and other stuff, I even bought some cheap headphones, AirPods, because I needed something to listen to the music, and they didn't have proper and reasonably priced Apple AirPods. So I bought some kind of cheap version. They did the job, and they still do, so that's okay. So we arrived at Tenerife. What was that with the time when we landed? It was 20:55, so 8:55 p.m. I think so. Yeah, it was a long flight, very tiring after that long drive and waiting at the airport and then the flight. It was very tiring. There were turbulences almost throughout all flights, but not the big ones. They were just kind of, it was a bit shaky.
Yeah.
No events there whatsoever as well. And then we arrived Tenerife. The best part was that I immediately got a call from the rental company, so they were waiting with the car exactly when we planned them to be there. So it's amazing because it's not always given. We quickly filled up the paperwork, we got the car, and we drove for about 40 minutes here to Los Gigantes. It was also a tiring drive because, again, I needed to switch to right-hand side drive, manual car, and lights on that car were not the best in terms of, in comparison to our own. But yeah, we arrived safely, and the whole check-in was also fairly okay. We got to our room and there was nothing around to eat. No restaurants open or anything like that, no supermarkets. So Julian and myself, we only went for a walk and got a small shop that was 24/7, but we only got some drink like water and all that stuff. Get back to the hotel and went to sleep. So it was pretty much our day. We were wasted afterwards. And we were unfortunate as well that just above us, in the room above us,
are some partiers.
Yeah, there were also Polish people. It happened to be. And in our culture, if you are on holidays and overnight and it seems like it was topped up by somebody's birthday, they were very loud all night long, even though the policy of the hotel was silence between, I think,
6 a.m. to 11 p.m. I think.
Yeah, 11 p.m. or something. So I rang them. They said they will tell the guys to be a bit quiet, but it didn't change much. Fortunately, Julian and Elizabeth went to sleep and slept well. I stayed probably until 2 a.m. I went even outside to sit by the pool and rest a bit, and then I went to sleep as well. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for being here. We might have a pretty nice trip here and a pretty nice stay here. We are for 15 days, 14 days roughly, and we already have some footage from our first trip, or kind of recon mission. So expect a lot of nice updates in a nice setting, and stay tuned and see you again tomorrow.